I can hear you
Yes.
just fine.
Okay, great, wonderful. So you're our only panel conversation. And so I thought it was interesting that the two of you would be able to at least give a presentation and speak to the power of coaching. Angela, I know you had a short presentation. Did you still want to present that?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. It's kind of a fun little thing that I've been working on over the past couple of years. My background is as an acupuncturist. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine and been practicing for 24 years. And during that time, I really realized how important it was for people to have healthy rhythms and rituals in their lives to really enhance what I was doing in the clinic. And um, having the time to be able to do that in the clinic and teach people how to do that was virtually impossible. So, this is where I really got into providing more coaching services and helping to train practitioners and other people to do coaching because of how effective it was in really shifting people from the telling everybody what to do and really trying to get them to adhere to these really complex treatment regimens to helping them at home. Here's how you can be supported outside of the clinic. So yeah, I'd love to share a little bit about that. I think we got a little background noise there, but
Yes, we did, but I think we're
yeah,
good now. So
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
indeed. I haven't gone through this journey myself. I understand the power of fertility coaching, and so I'll give you some moments right now to just give your presentation really quick, and then we'll bring both
Yeah,
you and Joycelyn together,
yeah,
and I'll ask you ladies some questions.
sounds great. Perfect. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick here, and we'll just make this short and sweet. I just have a couple things that I want to share with you guys. Um, so, like I said, so my background is an acupuncturist and Chinese medicine practitioner. I'm also a health coach and life coach. And I like to call myself a healer because I think at the end of the day, that's really what I'm doing is helping people heal internally, externally, and kind of all aspects of their of life. So I created this um, kind of healing infertility and really it's about the journey, right? Because we definitely want to make sure that we are not just giving up our entire lives to get pregnant, but to really learn how to have a good balance by incorporating these rhythms and rituals for the soul. We want to make sure that we're not giving up everything. I used to spend a lot of time in the clinic uh, making sure that people were eating just the right things, taking the right supplements, really having a strict guideline on what was required. And I realized very quickly that that's really hard for people. And it's also completely unnecessary to have such a strict way of doing things. We need flexibility, especially in this time and in this place where we can have a kind of what I like to call an environment that is a fertile environment that will help us towards that conception uh, goal, but also to help have balance in our lives. So let me see if I can go to the next slide. So the research is really interesting. There is good research that says that the mind body is connected, and there's a strong correlation in the context of fertility. Stress, anxiety, and depression can really negatively impact fertility outcomes, while relaxation and positive thinking can improve them. Now, we'd all love to think that just positive thinking would work, but that's not always the case. So, but we do have good research that says that it does help. So it's good to stay positive and not, it's good to feel all your feelings, but at the same time, it's good to also, have a positive outlook. And I believe that anyone who wants to have a family and create a family can do so. There's many paths that lead to the same goal. There's a lot of research as well as nutrition and fertility. So nutrition does play an important role in fertility outcomes. A diet rich in the rainbow colors is always good, is what I like to tell people. And while highly processed foods and saturated fats can decrease fertility and cause problems. So movement and fertility, we don't want to forget to move our bodies. Movement-based exercises such as yoga, Pilates can improve fertility outcomes by not just reducing stress, but improving blood flow to the reproductive organs and regulating hormone levels. Just like acupuncture and massage, those sort of things are great to incorporate as well. The spirituality and fertility, cultivating spiritual practices such as prayer and meditation can reduce stress and anxiety and improve fertility outcomes. And also, fertility massage and reflexology can improve fertility outcomes by reducing stress, increasing blood flow, and balancing hormone levels. So, we're not doing all of these things for nothing. But again, like I said, it can be really challenging. Like I said, in the clinic, I would see so many people struggle with just incorporating daily movement into their lives and having to tell people, hey, they already know, 90% of people know that they should be moving. They should be eating healthy. They know these things. That's not something that we need to keep telling people and blaming them for not doing them. So that's where the coaching and having that sort of person that you can count on to help you move through what's stopping you from moving, what's stopping you from actually implementing the change that you're wanting to make in your lives. And we know that practice over time, it's about the practice. It's not really about the end goal per se, but the practice is super important because that's what helps us long term. And that's what's going to actually make physiological changes in your body, is to not just eat healthy one day a week, but eat healthier over time. So incorporating daily food rituals, daily prep, how do you prep? Is that a ritual that you have every week? So I really like to look at it in the context of these rhythms and rituals in your life. So it's more of a long-term strategy. So because this is such a challenge, I created a course that's not quite out yet. So you guys are getting a sneak preview of this course. I didn't really plan on launching this right away, but I really feel like, because of my passion for these rhythms and rituals and how I really strongly believe that people need to start addressing more comprehensively the infertility problem, So this course is really designed to connect the mind, the body, and the soul in the context of infertility. So it's really designed, like I said, it's give you a comprehensive understanding of the connection between the mind and the body and the soul in the context of the infertility. Through these therapeutic rhythms and rituals, what you'll learn is to really tend to your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs to promote the healing and increase the chances of conception. We have this time period typically before people go through IVF or go through medical intervention that is a beautiful time to start doing things that can prepare your body, because no matter what, it will increase your chances of getting pregnant if you make the changes at least 3 months before you actually go through a medical intervention. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you could save $30,000 on IVF, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try? It's only going to increase your chances if you do end up having to go through IVF or do have some other medical interventions. You're really going to increase your chances overall. So basically, the structure, is the 3 month structure. We like to kind of, again, it takes time to make change. They actually have done some research about how long it actually takes. And it usually takes about 60 days for people to actually implement changes. So I kind of look at it as like you learn about the changes, you start implementing them, one or two at a time, and then you practice it. Because again, the practice of the implementation of the change is what's really important. We want to definitely make sure that those rhythms and rituals that you create are long lasting. So there's group activities, discussions, individual exercises, because again, I'm a firm believer in, take it home and do it so that you can practice it daily. And learning just how the mind body connection, how it works, how to really find the underlying causes of what's stopping you from implementing change. We learn about therapeutic rhythms and rituals, the mind body connection, nutrition and fertility, movement and fertility, spirituality and fertility, the power of creativity. Obviously, we are creating tiny humans. The relationship dynamics. I know a lot of people who, throughout their fertility journey, have struggled with relationships with their partners, their family. This can be really challenging and cause a lot of the dynamics to, uh, where do you go when you have these challenges? Who do you talk to? And how do you learn how to relate better to each other and to yourself? Mindfulness and stress reduction, fertility massage and reflexology. You learn about acupuncture and fertility and acupressure. You learn about herbal medicine and fertility. And the end is always integration and reflection. And then one thing that I wanted to do as an extra bonus is really talk about generational trauma. A lot of people have been in really challenging situations, and reflecting back on how you were raised, how your parents were raised, how your grandparents were raised. We are a part of that. And if we don't address those things, we're going to carry those things on into the next generation. So I'm a firm believer in do the work so that you're a transitional character in your story. Comes with a handbook and session outlines, exercises, and resources. You get a fertility friendly recipe book, yoga mat and strap, fertility altar supplies, a consciously conceiving app, and creative supplies for a fertility vision board. So the results, we really wanted people to stop Googling and start doing. People that suffer from infertility oftentimes spend enormous amounts of time on Dr. Google trying to figure out what's wrong with them. And instead of trying to figure out what's wrong with them, get into action and start doing, because at the end of the day, what you're doing daily is what's going to affect everything. So I'm going to help you remove not only the struggle, but the guesswork from the fertility journey, learn a holistic approach to fertility, cultivate those healthy rhythms and rituals that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual health, heal those generational wounds, and increase chances of conception and promote overall well-being. And that's it. Thank you, guys. If I can stop my share here. Yeah, and I'll pop in a little, I have a functionally fertile checklist for you guys. So I'm going to pop that into the chat if you want to grab that. If you're interested in checking out the program, since it's in its beta form, there isn't an official, website or anything, but what you can do is you can go on to the Integrative Fertility Institute and sign up for the free workshop there, and I'll be launching it soon. So yeah, of course.
Joyson is going to come next, but I have a question for you in regards to,
Yeah.
and I actually wanted to ask both of you, but I'll ask you right now, what does it take for someone to become a coach? One of the things I've observed is that, again, I've met lots of coaches, but I question what qualifies them to be a coach. Just because you've gone through a fertility journey, does that automatically qualify you to become a coach? And so those are the questions that I asked within myself. And so I'm asking you, what does it take? What are the characteristics that one should really have to be a good fertility coach? Not a life
Yeah.
coach, but a fertility coach.
Yeah. Fertility specific coaching, it's great if you do have a background in some sort of fertility issues yourself. That's a great place to start. But you don't have to. The biggest thing to become a really great fertility coach is obviously get specific fertility coach training, which is something that I provide for people. But what we look for is people who are good listeners, people who are willing to take a little bit of a back seat and help whoever they're working with coaching them effectively requires a little bit of a backseat driver, right? You want the person to be empowered to make the changes that they want to make. So, what I consider a really good fertility coach is good listener, able to take and assimilate information and reflect back to the client to help them understand themselves better. Someone who really can take themselves out of the equation, because at the end of the day, people are smart. Our bodies are very smart. Most of the people that I work with, they have already done so much work figuring
Mhm.
out what is wrong with them. We have to kind of shift that. So, really being able to learn the techniques. Um, One of the things that we do is help people kind of dive into what's holding them back from making change in their lives and in their physiology. So, helping them do that. Helpers, people who are natural born helpers who want to help and have a bigger mission in mind than just helping a small group. They want to help more people. So, a lot of practitioners come to me to learn fertility coaching because they want to deepen their practice. They want to add another modality into their practice that can help people dive deeper into what's really going on inside them. So, yeah, I would say those are the best qualities, I would say.
Thank you so much for sharing.